Hello and welcome to Simone Soul Wings YouTube channel. I'm Simone Tilley. Thank you for being with me today. If you've been watching my channel, you'll know that this is part 3 of a 4-part series. The first video we talked about energies and frequencies. The second video we talked about auras and the Kundalini. And today we're going to be talking about the 12 chakra system and beyond. I'm just going to do a quick summary of what we discussed so far and add some extra information that came to me at 3:30 a.m. this morning. Okay, so we discussed energy and how that blends, other people's energies blend with yours, and we discussed frequency and how that is unique to you and how it's more powerful drawn out of the body. So when you're doing energetic healing, you'll find that if you're doing distance healing, it's actually the frequency that carries it. Energy is really good inside the body, in close proximity to you, but frequency is what carries it further distances, and it's stronger at a distance. When you get sick, you put out an energetic vibration like a hook that comes out through your aura. And that hooks onto a similar vibration that just happens to be floating around. And then that gets drawn in through the layers of the aura, or if you're still working with layers, it gets drawn in through the aura and gets brought into the aura via your energy field. It then becomes feelings and emotions. It becomes thought processes, and then it physically manifests into the body as an illness. When we get sick, the energy gets drawn in because you want to conserve energy and you want to heal. So the body's innate wisdom does all this to try and make you better. The thing is, frequency will be drawn in with the energy when you're not well. And along with that, your aura also gets drawn in, so it fits like a glove around your body. Obviously, we want the aura away from the body to prevent other energies, particularly negative ones, to enter our aura and body. So what we can do, because frequency works better further away, we want to push the frequency out and thereby push our aura out, because then we have more space for our energy systems and our body to breathe and heal. And it also is like a buffer between, the aura is like a buffer between us and the rest of the world. Another thing I forgot to mention when we talked about auras and kundalinis is that when I mentioned you got the Ida and the Pingala that weave around the chakras and they rock the chakras. So that's keeping the chakras in balance. And when the chakras just want to turn one way, they're stuck and they're blocked, and that can manifest as physical illness as well. So that's just a quick overview and some extra information on the last 2 videos, and we will now begin on our 12 chakra system. So the 12 chakra system I use is different to other versions of the 12 chakra system that you see on YouTube or on the internet, and I'll explain why in a moment. The 12 chakra system I use is basically an activation, which should be ideally done for 21 days once you start the activation, which is why I'm going to be doing that on a separate video. So it's easier for you to find it and go over and over and over. Once the activation has been completed, you will notice other chakras opening up within your aura and above your head all the way to source, God, home, whatever you want to call it. You can physically feel the chakras on your body and the ones in your aura around and above your head. They feel like orbs, but you can still physically feel them. Some people can also see them. when I'm working one-on-one with a client, I can see them and I can show them exactly where to place their hands so that they can feel the orbs properly. So we discussed in the last video how, and this is a 7 chakra system, how each chakra has a nerve plexus attached to it. And they're all through the body. Every joint has, and your hands and feet, they all have nerve plexuses and chakras. We're working with the main chakras, so we're going to be integrating the 7 into making them 12. So this is the first 11 chakras and the Earth Star. Okay, so the Earth Star, we'll talk about that one first, the one that's pictured below the feet. I asked my team, my spiritual team, which are star mothers, star families, soul families, ascended masters, angels, guides, and any other beings that come in unconditional love, which can be dolphins, whales, dragons, unicorns, fairies, whoever happens to turn up. What's the difference between the Earth Chakra and the Earth Star? Well, they're telling me the Earth Chakra is where your feet walk on the earth. It is under the soil, but where your feet touch the earth is the Earth Chakra. The Earth Star is in the middle of the planet. It's the core. Don't be concerned too much about colours with the 12 chakra system. Some of the traditional colours stick, but you'll find as you're activating them and you're expanding that they will be all sorts of different colours, whatever is appropriate for you and whatever you need. You might find also they might start off a particular colour and then change. Also, don't be too concerned if you see dragons flying around the Earth Star or your higher chakras or, you know, other dimensional beings of some sort. So the Earth Star is in the center of the earth. It can be any color or texture that is right for you. Mine looks like tiger's eye, the crystal, with the gold and the iron and jasper stripes on it. Mine are often accompanied by dragons, but you might have other creatures or beings. The Earth Chakra, as I mentioned, is just below the feet where you touch the ground, but the Earth Star is right in the center for a really deep grounding. It's not considered part of the 12 chakra system, but it's a central part of the process. So that's why I have included that as the 13th chakra. Well, not really. It's it's there, it's important, and we need it. So I use it to start with. So the base chakra is traditionally red, and it was about survival, but it's now about abundance in this new system. The sacral chakra is below the navel. Oh, the base chakra is on the perineum between your anus and vagina, or if you're a man, between the anus and the scrotum, that little piece of skin. Yep. So the sacral chakra is below the navel, and it's traditionally orange, and it's about creativity. And the solar plexus chakra is on the xiphoid process of the rib cage, the little arrow in the middle of your ribs, under the bottom of your sternum. It's the xiphoid process. It's traditionally yellow, and it was about who am I and how do I fit in. It is now about who am I and who do I want to be. So you'll find with the 12 chakra system that the 7 chakras are expanding. So this was about survival. This is still about creativity, and this was about who am I and how do I fit in, which are very limiting beliefs. So the 12 chakra system is opening the chakras up and letting them breathe and expand, and we're thinking bigger now. We're expanding bigger. We're growing more into who we are as souls. So when we work with the 12 chakra system, we work in triads to activate them. So that's the first triad here. So that now becomes, as a triad, it becomes, who do I want to be in this world that I'm creating for myself with the abundance that I have? Now that's really, really big. It's profound and it's limitless, because it's up to you as a co-creator in this world to create the life you want. And you might say, oh, but my circumstances. Well, yes, but if you change how you view things, even if you're not in the best situation, then you change what comes into your life, basically. So then we have the heart chakra. It's over the heart and lungs, traditionally green, but it's changed to pink or red. It's about love, great for anchoring universal energies and grounding energies from the earth. So what's come to me recently is, rather than start in the earth star, we are drawing in frequency from and energies from the column above our head, column of light above our head, into our hearts, mixing it with unconditional love, and then taking it down to the earth star and then coming back up. So that's how I'm going to be working from now on, and we'll do that in the next video. And the back of the heart chakra, you'll find a lot of people, particularly women, have back pain between the shoulder blades. That is about self-love. That is, there is no other reason for it. That is where the nerves come into, along the spine, into your heart, your physical heart, and just below it, the nerves to the lungs. And below that, the nerves to the diaphragm. So the back of the heart chakra is about self-love. We mostly focus on the front, but as you saw in this other diagram, oh no, it's not showing it. I had another diagram that showed, anyway, there's a back and a front to all the chakras. Traditionally, the back of the base is the crown, the back of the crown is the base, but the other ones, they are front and back on the body. And most people look at the front, they don't look at the back. So with the heart, it's really important that you address that, which is self-love. Then we've got the higher heart, which is green. It's on the sternum, the breastbone, over the thymus. It's part of the immune system. It affects the DNA to the point where it can change DNA. And it connects and directly interacts with the Kundalini. See, with the Kundalini, the Sushumna goes up through, along the spine, through all the chakras, connecting energy flows between them. But the higher heart is the only one that works directly with the Kundalini in grounding back to source, into your DNA, into your immune system, into your aura, because the Kundalini does all that. So it's really, really important to get that. And you'll find people who have blocked throat chakras, when they start working with the higher heart, it makes it much easier to push through the blocked throat chakra. So the throat is between the larynx and which is the voice box, and the dip at the base of the throat, which is, so my larynx is there, and there's the dip. So for me, it's right here. And you see, it's going red. Traditionally, it's light blue, and it's about speaking up and speaking your truth. A lot of people find it difficult to speak up and speak about their true feelings because they've been suppressed through childhood or even as young adults from speaking their truth, their beliefs. And a lot of people have trouble doing public speaking because of that. And public speaking is not for everybody, but if your throat chakra is blocked, you find it really difficult to express how you're really feeling about certain issues, especially when somebody's hurt you. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Oh, sorry, that's your second triad, heart, higher, heart, and throat. That's your second triad that we'll be working with. So this is the third triad. Your third eye, pineal gland, and the chakra at the back of the head. Now, I don't know what this one's called. I don't pretend to know, but I know what it does because my team have explained it to me. So the third eye, or the brow chakra, sits right there, is between the brows or slightly higher, traditionally a darker blue than the throat chakra, acts as a screen for visions and images, plays a role in organising information from your intuition. And the intuition isn't just in your head. Intuition comes from every part of your body, including your feet, your legs, your skin. For example, you get a sensation of your skin crawling around certain people. That's your intuition. Bones, bone marrow, blood cells, organs, etc. Then it goes into the heart and the higher heart, and then it goes into the third eye via the pineal gland for processing with information from spirit. Then it goes into the throat for speaking your truth. So this is how the chakras all work together. The pineal gland is probably the most important chakra in your head because it has so many functions. It sits directly behind the third eye in the middle of your head. It can be any colour that is right for you. If it's white, it needs clearing as it's most likely calcified. If you're drinking tap water, for example, fluoridated water, using fluoridated toothpaste, that'll calcify. It's important, even apart from the physiological functions that it does in medical terms, but we're just talking spiritual here at the moment. It receives and processes information from the body and intuition. It receives and processes information from spirit, and it projects into the third eye chakra. It also, the third eye chakra projects into the chakra at the back of the head, and I'll explain that in a minute. So the chakra at the back of the head sits on the curve at the back of the head. You can feel it. So it sits, there's my brainstem here, and it sits right there, right in the curve. I don't know if you could see that. Whatever colour is right for you, often dark blue, it helps project images to the third eye. So it's like a reverse screen to the third eye, and it gives you another perspective, basically, to what the third eye is perceiving. It also sits above the brainstem and the reptilian brain, which is part of the fight or flight system in the brain. And activating this chakra helps regulate the fight and flight system. So you'll find that you're a lot calmer in everyday life if you have anxiety or something like that. Fear is needed to keep us safe, but unnecessary fear stemming from anxiety will be more regulated when this chakra is activated. It also helps you function and think more clearly during depression, so it's easier to find solutions. So, this is your fourth triad. You've got the crown, the high crown, and the one to the left. And this is where we start talking about 12 chakras and beyond, but I'll explain that in a minute. So the crown chakra on the top of the head, traditionally purple or white, but it can be any color that's right for you. It brings in the universal energies, brings in information from spirit and wisdom, universal wisdom. As all chakras do, it releases what needs to be released from the physical body. So this is where chakras are multidimensional, because they're all over your body and they come out, release and receive through the skin and through the aura. The higher crown, it's that one, is 6 or 8 inches or 15 to 20 centimeters above the crown chakra. Any color, it's any color that's right for you. It's about divine wisdom, and that gets channeled into the crown. It brings in and translates messages from spirit. It brings in universal energies. The chakra to the left, yes, that's my left, of the higher crown is 6 to 8 inches, the same difference, same distance from the crown to the high crown as the high crown to the left. And you can feel it. So mine's there. It works with the pineal gland and the left ear to hear spirit more clearly on a spiritual and energetic level and to receive messages clearer. So the other chakras are the chakra to the right, which could be activated instantly. Once we do the 12 activation, we'll have a look and see what else is going on in the aura and higher up. Chakras don't open in sequence. They open as you need to have them opened. And sometimes this will take a few days or even a couple of weeks after you do the activation, and sometimes it's open straight away. So the chakra to the right of the high crown, the same distance as this one is to there, 6 to 8 inches or 15 to 20 centimeters, works with the pineal gland, and the right ear helps you to physically and clearly hear spirit like you hear a person talking to you. This is the soul chakra or soul star chakra, and I guarantee you that's already activated. It just needs to be brought in to what we're doing, which we'll do after we do the 12 activation. This one sits above the high crown, probably the same distance as these are all to each other. It's often white, but can be any color or can be ringed in a color. So mine is ringed in blue. This is what your soul is about, your soul intentions, DNA, so to speak, or divine blueprint. That's all in your soul chakra, soul star. If you are a star seed, a blue ray, indigo, crystal, rainbow, diamond, etc., you will see a semicircle like a ring overlapping the soul chakra, soul star. The colour of this is whatever colour you are. For example, blue rays are royal blue. I'm a blue ray. So that's how I see it. Indigos will be an indigo colour. Crystals will be crystalline and possibly multicoloured. It can be a single colour. Rainbow children will have multicoloured. Diamonds will have sparkling diamonds, etc. There are other rays like emerald and whatever, so you might have that on your soul star as well. Above the soul star chakra, you will see other chakras like the galactic gateway, cosmic gateway, etc. That will go all the way back to source. They look like mandalas, and each mandala is individual, and each one's different and individual to you, you'll find they're the most amazing colours you can't even describe, patterns you can't even describe. Those of us, I'm not an artist, but a lot of people who are artistically inclined can draw them. And if I could, I'd stick them all around my house if I was artistically inclined. They are just so beautiful. So we use our frequency to connect and ground ourselves from our heart to the earth star. And from there we go through each chakra, but every 3 chakras will combine as a unit, as a triad. And they will then work together as a unit. For example, the base, sacral and solar plexus that we spoke about as one unit, that'll become the first triad. Then the heart, high heart and throat's the second triad, speaking your truth with self-love and universal love. That's what that triad's about. The third triad is the third eye, the pineal gland and the chakra at the back of the head. The fourth triad is the crown, high crown, and the chakra to the left. After we activate the fourth triad, we will then see if the one to the right of the high crown is active or not. To me, they look like Edison light bulbs, and it'll be on, off, or flickering. If it's flickering, it's trying to activate. Again, they become whatever colour's right for you. I chose these colours because that's how I see them. The right one's a lighter orange, and the left one is a darker orange. But it's whatever is right for you. Once you've done your 12 chakra activation, you can then incorporate any other chakras into your 21-day meditation, 21 days and beyond, I should say. It's a minimum of 21 days to get them activated, and then it just keeps going from there. So like I'm working with 18 chakras at the moment. I don't pretend to understand them all yet and what they do, but I'm grateful that they're there and that they've opened for me, because that's part of my journey and being the best version of myself that I can be. So once you've done the 12 chakra activation, we see what else is around in our aura, what else is woken up, and we can include that into our meditation after the first activation. We then use the frequency to connect all the active chakras and gateways all the way back to source. And as I said, they don't open in any other order, in any specific order. So you may find that some are active and some are still waiting to be activated. So basically, the fourth chakra, the fourth triad, pretty much after the first activation, stops being a triad. It starts to look more of a sword. So this is the handle, and this is the hilt of the sword. And then from here, it just goes up and up and up and up and up, which is the blade, as I see it. Yes, I'm an air sign, so air signs in the tarot are swords. It's about speaking the truth and mental acuity and stuff like that. And it's, spiritual acuity as well. So we will do the 12 chakra activation in our next video. I think I've covered everything. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me on simonesoulwings@gmail.com or private message me on my Simone Soul Wings Facebook page. I think that's it. Thank you very much for joining me. I will see you in the next video for the 12 chakra activation. Bye.